Hi everyone, my name is Amelia and welcome to another episode of Providend's Money Wisdom Podcast. And today we have our special series, Milestones by Decade, where we will dive into the advice our very own advisors wish they had received a decade ago. So today I'm very pleased to have Evelyn with us, one of the founding members of Providend, and also our Deputy CEO and Chief Advisory Officer, who is in her 50s and she doesn't look it at all.
Thank
you.
you.
We'll be discussing the advice she wished she had received in her 40s. So firstly, welcome to the show, Evelyn.
Thank you.
You want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes. Okay, so as you've introduced, my name is Evelyn. I'm a working mother of 3 children. So I have a girl, Elise, who is 17 years old this year, and Emmanuel, who is 15, and Ebenezer, who is 11. So I just stepped into my 50s. I'll be turning 52 this September.
Wow, okay. So this particular episode will be particularly relevant for me because I am in my 40s and I'm also turning 42 in September.
Wow,
Yeah.
we are 1 decade away.
1 decade.
But of course, you also don't look like it.
Thank you very much.
You must return the compliment.
Thank you very much. I hope the audience agrees, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So looking back at your 40s, what is the mindset that you have about success, money, or life that evolved between your 40s and 50s? So your mindset.
Okay, I think mindset-wise, I don't think there's a major change between how I view success or life in general. My motivation in life, what drives me, has always been about doing what is right and also giving my best in whatever I do, whether it be in the area of work or in my roles as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, or even a daughter-in-law. I think that part, I think I can do better, but I'll try. So I don't think that's a big change in that sense. And my view of success has never been about, climbing the corporate ladder, my job title, how much I have. If it's that, I'll be quite miserable. Or, how knowledgeable I am. But to me, success is about whether I'm living a life that is accountable to God, my Maker, in having a life well lived. Yeah, so that actually is really more my how I view life. So I don't think that has changed a lot. In terms of money, for those readers or listeners who have watched my story, you'll know that I come from a very humble background. And also the challenging years of starting Providend has taught me that actually I can live with very little. Yeah, so it has not changed that much from mindset standpoint, but more from in the sense of affordability. Yeah, so only probably in the last 7 to 8 years that me and my husband began to have a bit more surplus, where we can direct towards the accumulation of our own retirement, our kids' education, funding, and also be there to set aside more to have experiences, like bringing the kids to experience snow. And it's only in the last 3 years that we brought them to experience skiing, to learn snowboarding.
Wow. Only 3 years?
Yeah, only 3 years ago. Yeah, I mean,
while.
previously it's more like nearby regions, short holidays kind of thing. So it's not so much mindset shift, but it's more about affordability. So as we can afford a little bit more, we dare to spend a bit more on experiences for the family, spending time together. And it's not just my children, it's also our mothers. Now we only have our mothers left, So actually all along, we try to involve our parents, my parents-in-law and my mom. Yeah, so for holidays, we try to bring them along as well.
Yeah, and to build wonderful memories
Yes.
together.
That's more important to us.
And as you grow older, you get a bit more resources and more willing to spend on such things.
Willing to spend, but must have that affordability. Must have the resources.
So God has blessed you with the resources.
Yes. I mean, thankfully, Providend has done much better over the past 7 to 8 years now. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so for people in their 40s, I'm very sure that on top of like having enough resources, right? Career is something on their minds. So they will start thinking about, oh, is this the right career path that I'm going on? Should I switch industries? So looking back, what's one piece of career advice you wish you had received in your 40s?
Okay, maybe if you allow me to kind of like just share how I
Sure.
view work in general. I mean, I'm a big believer in hard work. I'm a child of the 70s. You're Gen X, right? So we work very hard.
Okay.
And I always feel that there is this, I have my views on this term, work-life balance, right? I always feel that you work first, then you find a balance. And it's also about phase in life, right? So when you're younger, you're starting out, you still don't know exactly what is. Some people are clearer, some people may not know, right? Then that's the time to really work very hard, right? Because you may be still single, no kids yet, no family commitments. That's really the time to work really, really hard, right? But of course, as a person progresses and they know themselves better and all, then you progress on to your 40s. Then that's where of course, along the way, it's also very important to kind of like ask, is the work that you're engaged in meaningful, purposeful? And actually, in my view, unless you are in a very toxic work environment, or you're in certain industry, vice industry perhaps, that is totally against your own personal value system, there's always a way to kind of like try to examine how can I make my work meaningful, because meaningful, purposeful work may not be just the work itself. It can be the work itself. It can be your own personal development. It can be about the interactions, how you can be a blessing to your fellow workers, to your boss, to your subordinates, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so coming back to that question about when a person is in the 40s, I think you're at that stage where you know more about yourself. You know what's important to you in terms of your phase, or in that phase of life. Then, from the observation of my client advisors who join us as mid-career professionals, and also on from my own personal journey as a founding member, I think it's very important that you engage in work that you find meaning, right? Of course, pay is important, but pay cannot be everything,
yes,
right? And finding something that will work, that is meaningful, purposeful for you, is very crucial, because we spend about 1/3 of our lifetime in work.
exactly.
Working. So if you want a meaningful life, then work has a big part to play in it. And when we engage in work and all that, not every part of it is totally enjoyable, right? Even in very meaningful work, there will be duties that sometimes you don't enjoy. You will encounter challenging times. Okay, so that knowing what you're doing is meaningful and purposeful can help you go through it better.
Yeah, especially you mentioned toxic people, right? Imagine you come to work on top of not having certain tasks that you like, then there's like every person you meet is toxic. Then that makes life not meaningful at all. So I'm glad at Providend, we have a great culture. Even though you come to work, you have certain things that you may not enjoy entirely, but there's that big purpose, and also the people around you and those you work with can make a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I speak from experience as well.
Yeah, I'm very glad as well. We are very blessed. Yeah.
Yes, I am. Okay, so the 40s, besides career, it can be a very busy time because you're balancing, raising your 3 children and also looking after your aging parents. So when you think about, like, also have your own retirement at stake, so is there like a money decision you're really glad you make, or one that you wish you had done differently?
Actually, I'm very, very glad that me and my husband, we have similar money values. We basically believe in living below our means and not to be burdened by debts, right? So back in 2016, the 5-room resale HDB flat that we've been staying in for the past 15 years is breaking down. Things are just breaking down, after 15 years,
with
right?
3
Staying
children.
in a place, with 3 children. Then with 3 growing children, we think that we need more space for them. So that's where we want to explore, upgrading to executive flat. We are thinking more executive flat or executive mansionette kind of thing. So one of the housing agent that we engaged in the earlier phase, look at our numbers, and they kind of tell us that actually, Evelyn and Eddie, you can afford to upgrade to a landed property because you can take a loan of 2 million.
Wow.
Then I remember looking at my husband and I'm like, of course not in front of him lah. After that, then I'm like, why would I want to burden myself with a 2 million loan? Because your monthly mortgages is going to be very high, right? Yeah, so we decided that that's not for us. Anyway, that's a thought that we never entertained to begin with.
Okay.
We settled for an executive flat near our area because we wanted to stay near our kids' primary school so that commute is easier for them. And the loan that we took is at a level where we don't have to come out with cash at all.
Okay.
It can be paid through our CPF contribution. So that gives us that peace of mind to focus on our work. Okay, at that point, 2016, Providend has not taken off, right? We are still struggling in that sense. Imagine if I'm constantly worried about, can I pay my bills and all that? Sometimes you may have that pressure to say that, hey, maybe I should move on to another place, because I think with our qualifications and our experience, we definitely can do better financially, right, in that sense. Yeah, but making that decision allows us to put our money where our mouth is, in that sense of like staying put at Providend, working, focusing on our work. Yeah, in what we believe in, right? And also, not having to have cash outlay for our mortgages allow us to plan our cash resources so that we can have that freedom to send my children for enrichment classes, to explore interests such as, music, whether it's piano lessons, drum lessons, swimming, painting, things that when I was young, I didn't have a chance. So to me, that was very important. Then, of course, bringing them on holidays, plus my mom, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law is still around also, to nearby countries, So that's the kind of money decision that I'm very glad that we make.
And I think it's also the decisions that we make for our clients as well. So, I feel actually this is not the norm because people outside, right, they might be like, oh, okay, I am at this age and my pay will definitely increase in the future. Then they will just go into this inflated lifestyle and they will say, I'll just commit to a condo, I'll commit to a landed property and then a bigger car because my peers are driving those cars. So it's a never-ending cycle. And I'm so glad that you chose what you chose and that you're still here. Yeah, and that our clients can benefit from like a real life example as well. Yeah,
we are living in a society where, material wealth is, there's that pressure, right? It's a social pressure.
Yeah.
I remember when my children were in preschool, my eldest is my girl, right? Preschool only, come back, ask me, Mommy, why are we not staying in a condominium?
Wow.
My friends stay in a condo, got swimming pool, why you don't stay, and that's where we have to explain to her in terms that she can understand that I prefer to have more space for you, right? To do your activities.
That's
and
true.
whatnot, right? More space without having to pay. I didn't tell her stretch too much because she won't be able to understand at that age. So it's just to say that space is more important to us because you want this kind of space in a condominium. Yeah,
it's small,
you're going to pay a lot more.
Correct.
Yeah. So space to us is more important. So as they grow older, then we explain more.
It's not easy, right? But I think when you make that choice and they watch and they grow and they will also in turn do that for their own families and have a life filled with more freedom, I feel, more choices as well and not be burdened down.
Yeah.
Hi listener, we hope you're enjoying this episode and podcast series so far. At Providend, we have been sharing our thought leadership content through various mediums beyond just this podcast. If you're interested in knowing more, check out the link in the show note to subscribe to our newsletter today. Thank you, and let's get back to the episode.
So in terms of there's so much to juggle, right, in your 40s. So taking care of yourself, is that something even on your mind? And looking back, is there anything you want to share with us that you have done another way?
I mean, when I was, for me, I felt that I was like juggling, it's nice, it's the image of an octopus, right? Yeah. You are like juggling many things all at the same time. So, I mean, I've learned to be very opportunistic. Opportunistic in that sense of like, run errands during lunchtime, grab a quick lunch, and then, mothers, you have things, you buy breakfast, you got to, buy certain things that they need for school, stuff like that. Yeah, so whatever windows of time, you zoom in. So the brain is always working out, you're like, got all these things I haven't done, got one opportunity, I'm very opportunistic. Okay. And also, I remember I had to, because when the kids were younger, weekends is all about them, right? Because weekdays, working very hard, then weekends is the time I want to be really involved in their life. So bring them out and all that, spending time with them. I'm a very hands-on mom. Because I had short hair, right? Short hair, every 5-6 weeks.
You have to go and cut.
You need to go and trim. Yeah. I will stretch to the maximum. I always tell them cut until very short. Then can stretch longer, maybe 2 months, go and trim one time. But I had to take half-day leave. God, I got no time, right? Got to take half-day leave, cut hair ready, then hopefully got some window of time. Then that's where I can do my shopping. Okay, and actually I don't shop, I buy. Right, I don't have time to window shop, So it's like I'll walk into the my usual place, and then as I walk around, then I'll like, this one fits me, looks good, within the price range that I'm happy with. I'll just grab. Yeah, so I'm a very decisive buyer, in that sense, because otherwise, then it's just during family holidays. Then maybe I'll have windows of time, right, for shopping. So it's this trade-offs that you kind of like try to juggle, right? Yeah, but I think for most working moms, at least for me, I felt that being fit is very important, physically fit. Yeah, because you have so many responsibilities, you can't afford to fall sick. 真的是 can't afford.
No time to fall sick.
Yes, because you fall sick, you still have to do ma. So then try not to lah. Yeah, and the way not to fall sick for me is exercise. Right, and I don't sleep well as well. So exercise actually does help to strengthen my immune system. So I'm thankful that since I was a teenager, I started jogging, right? And jogging is a sport that actually requires very little coordination, right? You got window, you
just
of course hopefully not too hot lah, right? Then you can just chiong to right in that sense. Yeah. So that I thought is. Physical fitness is very important. Being healthy is important so that you are able to be in that position to be able to juggle the various responsibilities. Yeah. So would I do anything differently? Maybe that's the question, that you're that's coming up.
Ask you later. Yeah. So I think keeping fit is very important, especially when you're carrying your children as they're growing up, right? Then you're like, they get heavier and heavier, so you must.
I sprained my wrist before, because my firstborn is, she is chubby and she's solid.
Now she's a young lady.
Yeah, she's solid. So I as a first time mom, I don't really know how to kind of carry her. So I actually hurt my wrist, and I remember I have to wear this wrist guard, and I have to kind of like put a hand underneath her to kind of bring her up rather than use the wrist. So these are things that we learn
as you go along.
Yes.
Then your second and third one was, I guess, you're more experienced by then.
Yeah, and thankfully they are not as heavy, but
oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but
of course, hearing
but these are also things that it's like your tips, right, that you can share with my younger colleagues lah.
Yes, that's true. Thanks for that. Okay, so in your 40s, was there a mistake or tough moment in your life that you ended up teaching you something really important?
That was it started with the joint venture that Providend had. Yeah, so because my boss is very, very involved in the joint venture, he can't be around too much at Providend. So I feel I have to hold the fort at work, right? My husband Eddie is also involved in the JV, and he's working crazy hours. And it's like the kids don't see them much. He can come back after midnight, they're all asleep already. So the children were like ask me every now and then, why is Papa working so hard? I haven't seen him for a while. So I have to hold the fort at home as well. So that period was very challenging for me. And then COVID hit, right? COVID hit, and you remember those days where everybody's cooped up at home. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of stress of whether you get your vegetables, whether you get your toilet paper. Actually, for me, I'm more concerned about food because to me, adults, we can don't eat lah. But in my mind, what if I don't have food for my children? Yeah, as a mom, that was a worry. Yeah, so I remember you hear of news that the border's going to close, may not have vegetables. After we settle the kids, I chiong already. I go out to supermarket, those 24 hours, Sheng Siong and all that, right, to go and round up vegetables. Okay. Yeah, to stock up my fridge. I didn't stock up Maggi Mee, but stock up my fridge and all that. So it was that, and I had my first teenager also. And then work-wise, there's a lot of decisions to be made, right? Yeah. Market was down. Okay, it was a crazy period, right? Market was down, and we had to adjust to different work arrangements. We have to step up. And I remember we did was it 5 webinars in, 2 months or 3 months? Yeah, and it's something that we've never done before. We're doing a lot of things all within that short span of time. A lot of things were all happening all at the same time. There's a lot of decisions to make. How should we go and arrange the sitting arrangement? There's constantly a lot of things that's happening. So that took a further strain, a toll on my mental health. Right, and I finally broke in 2023. I had a burnout episode. Yeah. The senior management very graciously gave me a sabbatical. So I took a 4 months break from work. They cut me off from all the Teams meeting, their chats, and all that. So I could just take that 4 months to zobo, to do things that I wanted to do but never had time to do. So I took up vocal lessons. Oh, wow. I went to learn pop piano, where you learn chords because I don't know how to read taoge. I went to pick up swimming. I can swim your usual frog style, but I do breaststroke. But I don't know how to do freestyle. Oh. Yeah, so my kids always swim faster than me. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I went to engage a female coach to learn swimming, and then I also took my mom and my auntie out for a seniors trip.
Oh, a girls'
not too
trip.
far, to Penang, because
that's nice.
My mom is that kind who is very always very thoughtful, and so when we travel together, she will, as they grow older, the legs, after a while they get tired, right? Yeah. But they'll always be worrying about the children. Yeah, so I felt that I wanted to bring them out just for them, right? I bring my auntie because they're very close, right? So then they can spend time together also. So I call it senior trip lah. So it's
more chill lah.
They walk, 脚痛, okay, rest.
Sit down.
Yeah, after a while, tired, go back hotel. That kind. Yeah, so it's at their pace. Yeah, so I get to do that. So what I learned is that through that is that burnout is very real. It's just a stretch of time where you are just constantly doing, right? And then you're under constant stress. And then suddenly, wham, you get hit in the face. You enter into a season where you're depressed, you're lethargic, and you don't even know why. And all the while you're like, hey, I'm doing meaningful work, I'm taking care of loved ones. Why am I feeling this way? So if you ask me what I've learned, I learned that, yes, burnout is real. I learned that I have to be kinder to myself. I don't have to make sure everything works in crowd work. I don't have to wear, that I'm able to juggle a lot of things like a badge of honor. Because I used to take pride that I can juggle. I used to take pride that I can function well at work and at home. But I learned that it's real. Burnout is real, and I need to take better care of myself. If I'm sick, I rest. And I don't feel bad about it, right? Because I used to, even when I'm not well, I'll work. Yeah, I'm not well, I'll do things. Yeah, but I've learned that, being kinder to myself is you have permission to rest. If I'm emotionally drained, I take a time out. I try lah. Yeah, I take a time out. I'm learning to say no to certain things. It's absolutely difficult for me because I'm brought up. My mom is that kind who will tell me, 你可以自己做，你就自己做. Right? I'm that kind. So it's ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Right? To be responsible, to be accountable, to be very efficient, hardworking. All these are my work ethics. Yeah. So to say no, number one, it's very difficult for me to do it. Number two, I feel really bad about it. So recently, there's one additional responsibility that was given to me, and my plate was very full, and I felt that actually I thought through, I may not be the best person for that as well. So I have to tell my boss, this one can take it out from my plate. It took a lot of courage, and I felt bad. It took me 1 weekend to get over feeling bad about it. So it's still a learning thing for me. I'm still a work in progress for that.
Wow, that must have been a very shocking episode back then when you burnt out. Was it like all of a sudden, like within a few weeks, you just went into this very depressed?
I mean, it's just because for me, I never had like those Monday blues type of thing.
Okay.
Don't have that kind where you come back from holiday, tired, I'm back. Next day, I'm back at work. I don't need to recover, right, from holidays and build up again.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of thing. But there was when that burnout episode happened, is like I don't feel like going to work. I drag my feet to go to work. I don't look forward to it. In fact, I'm like, it's that kind of, everything 提不起劲, it's just lethargic.
Okay.
Yeah, just, why do I have to do this? So it's not a good state to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could sense that it's not your real self in that sense. Yeah, like you are losing a bit of yourself. So I think for the listeners, it will be a good idea if that happens to you.
Don't even let it happen.
Yeah, don't let it happen. Like, be self-aware to know that you don't have to carry everything, and it's okay to ask for help. Yeah, and I think it's good advice for me also, because at this age, you're just juggling family, juggling your aging parents and all that. Sometimes you just like, I can do it I can do it. No need to ask for help. But then there comes a point where it's okay to rest, and when you rest, there is longevity as well.
Correct.
And you don't lose yourself. And I like the part about being kind to yourself, because as you are kind to yourself, in fact, it helps you be kind to others also. And sometimes we are our worst friend, we are so good to our the person next to us, right? But we are so unkind to ourselves. And we don't realize all the thoughts and how it compounds into something bigger. Yeah, so thanks for sharing that, Evelyn. Okay, so if you could tell your 40-year-old self just one thing, what would it be?
Definitely be kind, to yourself. You're doing a fantastic job. You don't have to balance everything perfectly. And I think that's the wisdom of the philosophy of sufficiency, to know what is important in this particular phase of your life, or I should rephrase, what's most important to you in this phase of your life, and accept that there are trade-offs, and go and indulge yourself in the little joys of life, and to take care of yourself, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, and create space for yourself. This Japanese concept of yutori, mind space. So maybe allow me to just read out this definition of yutori that I thought is very comprehensive.
Sure.
And this is the old flower glasses. These will be, right? Yutori is a Japanese concept that roughly translates to spaciousness, room, or leeway. It encompasses more than just physical space. It refers to creating mental, emotional, and temporal space to allow for reflection, relaxation, and a more balanced life. It is about intentionally slowing down, having room to breathe, and fostering a sense of calm and well-being.
I really like that definition, and I hope all our listeners will be able to find their form of yutori. And sometimes it can evolve also. Maybe it's just having that cup of coffee in the morning and just relaxing, clear your mind, and then before you just start your day in a rush, correct? Yeah, and so I hope you've been blessed by this episode. And thanks, Evelyn, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's really enriching experience for me to hear about your life, and I definitely learned a lot from it.
Be kind to yourself.
Thank you very much. Okay, and with that, we've come to the end of our episode, and we hope you've enjoyed this mini-series, Milestones by Decade. And look forward to the next episode where I'll also interview one of our founding members from Providend, someone in her 60s who will talk about her 50s. So if you like this episode, please rate our podcast on your favorite podcast platform, like this, and share it with a friend. So we'll see you next time. Goodbye. All analysis, views, or opinions from interviews, recommendations, and other information broadcasted, podcasted, or published herein are provided for general information purposes only. Information expressed does not take into account any specific situation, particular needs, or objectives, and should not be construed as specific advice or a recommendation. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action. Providend Limited does not accept any liability for any loss whatsoever arising from any use of the information broadcasted, podcasted, or published herein. All contents and information contained herein may not be copied or reproduced in whole or in part by any means without prior consent of Providend Limited.